Welcome to the first ever preview and predictions episode. In this series, I'll be previewing up-and-coming Arsenal games and giving my predictions on the potential starting 11 and final outcome. For this episode, however, I'll be previewing the entire up-and-coming season. Over the course of the next few minutes, I'll be looking at Arsenal's summer transfer business, setting goals for the season, predicting the potential starting 11, as well as giving my final predictions on how we'll do overall this season. I want this series to be as interactive as possible, so before we get into the episode, make sure to comment your predictions on where Arsenal will finish in the Premier League down below. In addition, if any of you successfully predict the starting 11 for the first match against Fulham, you'll get a shout out in the very next episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. This summer, Arsenal have been very active in the transfer market. Although the transfer window doesn't close until October 5th, I do believe Arsenal have concluded the majority of their business. This summer saw the Gunners sign two Brazilians, Gabriel and Willian, as well as making loan signings Cedric Soares and Pablo Mari permanent. Furthermore, although Arsenal technically signed William Saliba last summer, this will be his first year in London after spending the year on loan in France. Overall, I believe Arsenal have made some very clever signings this summer. With Cedric and Mari, they represent deals that add depth to the Arsenal backline, while Gabriel and Saliba bring quality to that department as well. Willian adds quality and experience to the Arsenal attack. Although the winger just turned 32, I believe he still has a few good years left in him. Moreover, he will be an important component of improving the culture at Arsenal, something Arteta is adamant about. He's a proven winner who can be effective both on and off the pitch. This summer has also seen the likes of Henrik Mkhitaryan leave the club, while players like Socrates, Hector Bellerin, and Matteo Guendouzi have all been linked with exits. While I believe Bellerin would be the biggest loss of those three players, if any of those transfers end up funding the signing of a central midfielder, I will be appeased. Arsenal have been linked heavily with both Thomas Partey and Hacim Odoi. However, at this moment, it doesn't seem as if the Gunners have the funds to complete either transfer. There's still just under a month of the transfer window left, so continue to stay tuned for potential transfer news. Despite suffering our lowest Premier League finish in 25 years last season, there is still a lot of optimism around Arsenal after the arrival of Mikel Arteta. Since he's arrived, Arsenal have won both the FA Cup and Community Shield, while securing impressive wins against Manchester City, Chelsea and Liverpool across multiple competitions in recent months. Although Arsenal are most definitely on the right track with Arteta, there's still much room for improvement. I personally see this year as a rebuilding year in which Arteta can use to experiment with his team. With that being said, here are my 3 goals for Arsenal this season. Number 1, win the Europa League. It is crucial Arsenal obtain Champions League football next season for a variety of different reasons. It'll help attract bigger and better players to the Arteta project, as well as boost the budget for next season. Although most of us see getting top 4 as the easiest way into the Champions League, I think the Europa League is Arsenal's best shot. With the likes of Chelsea, United, City and Liverpool all looking strong, it'll be tough for this developing Arsenal side to break into that top 4. With that being said, I believe Arsenal can make a run in the Europa League just like they did in the FA Cup last season. My second goal would be to develop youngsters like Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Reiss Nelson, Joe Willock, as well as newcomer William Saliba. Last season was huge for the likes of Saka and Martinelli in terms of their development. They both played huge roles throughout this season, and it's crucial they are given the chance to do so this season as well. Although to an extent there will be some pressure for Arteta to improve on last season, it is important he continues to give opportunities to the young Gunners who have done well for him so far. My third and final goal of the season would be to establish ourselves as a team to be feared. In Klopp's first full season at Liverpool, he led them to a top 4 finish. Although they struggled for consistency, they showed up in the big games, beating the likes of City, Spurs, United, and none other than Arsenal that season. Although I don't believe we need a top 4 finish to have a successful year, I would like to see us continue to compete with the top teams in England and establish ourselves as a team for the future. This year, I believe Arteta will rotate between playing the 5-2-3 formation he finished the season with and the 4-2-3-1 formation he began his reign with. The biggest question in relation to Arsenal's starting 11 is who will begin the season in goal, Emiliano Martinez or Bernd Leno. Although it has been rumored that Martinez may be leaving the club, I do believe Arteta will begin the season with him as the number 1. His form at the end of last season was faultless, and it's very hard to see Arteta dropping him at this moment in time. With that being said, Leno has proven himself as a top keeper since he first arrived at the club back in 2018. If Martinez's form wavers, Leno will be right there to take back his spot. For the up-and-coming game against Fulham, I believe Arteta could use either of these two lineups. I do believe he will start with the 5-2-3 formation. Injuries and new signings mean Arteta won't be able to field his ideal lineup against Fulham. It's been reported that both David Luiz and Gabriel will most likely not be ready for the first game, which means both Holding and Tierney will have to fill in. This does mean, however, that a debut for William Saliba is increasingly possible. Both Maitland-Niles and Bellerin should pick up right where they left off as left and right wing backs. The midfield duo and front three should be the same exact personnel as the FA Cup final, with Ceballos partnering Xhaka in the midfield, while Aubameyang, Lacazette and Pepe will be looking to impose themselves this season. Once again, don't forget to comment what your starting lineup will be for the Fulham game. Those who successfully predict the lineup will get a shout out in the next episode. As we're coming to the end of the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me. I hope you guys enjoy these preview and prediction videos as much as my Inside Arsenal content. Without further ado, however, here comes my prediction. I believe Arsenal will finish 5th this season. While ideally, I would like to see us back in the top 4, I don't believe we're at a point where over the course of the season we can compete with the likes of Chelsea, United, City and Liverpool. With that being said, Arteta has worked miracles so far, so fingers crossed he can do so once again.